Meet 5 New York chefs.
We came together to cook.
We came together to tell our stories.
We came to share our table.
Welcome to Yum Chat. My name is Hooni Kim, and I am the chef and owner of 2 restaurants in New York City, Danji and Hanjan. I started cooking about 16 years ago. I was in medical school. I hated what I was doing. I wanted to cook. So that's how I started learning how to cook and ultimately became a chef. While I was learning how to cook, my fellow cooks who were French had this sort of pride in their cooking, not just the technical skills. They were proud that they were sharing their culture through food. So what I wanted to do with my restaurant was to sort of open up a Korean restaurant that was chef-driven, ingredient-driven, where we had pride in what we were cooking and serving.
So Hooni, what are we making today?
Today we're gonna make Cantonese-style pan-fried noodles, but with a Japanese flair. It is lighter. It's not the typical Cantonese-style noodles where it has a thick, heavy sauce. It is much lighter. So I'm gonna have Bao start to sort of work on the garlic.
Okay.
Sliced really thin. I'll start working on onions.
So what kind of noodles are you using?
These are Cantonese-style pan-fried noodles. These are very thin. The best thing about these noodles are it's already cooked. When it's not cooked, what happens is you have to cook it first and then sort of dry it out and then you stir fry. But this, all you have to do is sort of just warm it up, get it going. 30 seconds in hot water is enough to start stir frying.
So, Chef, what do you look for when you are looking for quality ingredients, especially something like vegetables?
For me, my rule is number 1, local produce. Vegetables are the best just because the less they travel, the closer to peak flavor and nutrition you can pick the vegetables. Organic is also something that is important. For me, I think less pesticides and these man-made dyes.
So you do think it's better to do organic? Because sometimes people think that's sort of like a buzzword.
Yes, I do. I think for me, less chemicals, the better. And that's why we use fresh vegetables instead of vegetables with preservatives, that are canned or bottled. We also try to use meat that don't have any growth hormones, antibiotics. It definitely costs more, but it tastes better.
Yeah.
And it is definitely healthier.
How do you do that without breaking the bank? Because so often, shopping organic, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
So what do you do then?
It's a lifestyle choice you need to make because you can't see the difference, and especially for the younger folks, you can't feel the difference. But when you get to be my age, any kind of chemical I ingest, I can tell the next day. My kid's 9 years old, so he really doesn't even differentiate or distinguish Korean food versus American food. For him, it's just food. I think he knows what good food is, whether it be any ethnic food or Western food, and he knows what bad food is. And it comes down to, for him, flavor, temperature, taste, and also the way it looks. That has a big effect. Do you cook a lot for your kids?
Not as much as we should. It's funny, I feel like our kids, when we're home, they're super picky, typical kid eaters. But anytime we're out of the house, whether it's at a restaurant or when we're on a trip, then they're just we'll try anything.
Really?
Yeah, I just wish they were more like that at home.
I also do want to mention that I sort of know where all of these ingredients came from. These are upstate New York onions. These are actually from California, traveled far, but these are organic. And it was difficult to find organic carrots around New York. These shiitake mushrooms are from Portland, but they flew out here. so these are very fresh. And these are local in Pennsylvania as well. These I have no idea, but Chinatown. It's good to know where your produce comes from. So we're ready to cook now. It's very important to sort of have the ratio right. I like to go 50-50.
Yeah.
And because you don't want the vegetables to overcook, you put it on top of the noodles. Okay, so I'll just pass it around. It's not beautiful, but it is nutritious.
Ooh, I need the spice. I like it. Yeah, it's really infused into the noodles. Yeah, this is delicious, and you're right. The texture of the noodle really makes the dish, and it really brings out the vegetables and helps with the texture of the
It's like,
vegetables.
and
too.
like the al
chew.
dente.
And you can tell the vegetables, the quality, it's sweet, super flavorful.
You said we used beef before, right? What kind of beef would you use?
If you can,
Yeah.
I would use Kobe beef. But then once you do that for your kids, you can never go back to vegetarian.
So Hooni, I guess outside of food, how do you kind of look for quality in other aspects of your life?
You know, as a chef, as a cook, even though overall there's so much joy in my life cooking for people, the actual day-to-day experience, it's tough. Very difficult physically and mentally, painful to a point. But then once you're done for the night, on your way home, there is that sort of sense of pride, sense of achievement, and overall joy. Enough to carry you over to the next day.
Well, for me, I trying to balance it out with work because, working in the kitchen is long hour, as everybody knows. That's why I trying to doing fitness, going to work out and live, doing some cardio so I can stay strong, healthy, and also try to eat healthy.
Almost all cooks that I know who have been cooking for a long time, we have serious physical problems because we should not be on our feet 16 hours a day. We all have those physical problems because we love to cook and we love to serve people. Yeah.
Mine's are in my hips. My hip pain.
Too much dancing. Korean food has always been, from the beginning, about health, about ingredients having medicinal purposes, and about nature. Koreans will tell you from the beginning, if you eat healthy food, there is no better medicine.
Hey guys, if you like this video, click to subscribe so you won't miss an episode of Yum Chat. And for full recipes, check out twinmarquee.com.